start here. Amar Rava. So we'll start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Six lines before the bottom of the page. Chafamid Beis. Amar Rava. Rava said, Ikashali, if I have a problem with what Zeiri said, Hakashali, this is my problem. Zeiri said that if Nishbura Mafrekas, if the spine breaks, the Rov Basar Ima, with most of the flesh with it, it's already an Avela. So this is my problem with that. I mean, what's the typical Malika? The typical Malika is to come with the thumbnail, break through the neck, break the spine, and then break through esophagus, and then break through the trachea. So understand, if you've broken the spine, it's already dead, it's already an Avela. So what's the point of Malika? To cut what's already dead? Amalei Abaye said back to him, even if you don't take that, the Tikshulach Ola Sa'of, there's a difference between the Ola Sa'of and the Chata Sa'of. The Chata Sa'of, you only break through one pipe. The Ola Sa'of, you have to break through two pipes. Which requires breaking through two pipes. So once you broke through the first pipe, so now it's already dead. Is there a point to being molek that which is already dead? Amar le, so Rava said back to him, Hasam in regards to Ola Sa'of, there are two mitzvahs in Ola Sa'of. There's one mitzvah of Malika, which is to kill it, to make its life leave. But after the killing, there is another mitzvah, and that is to detach the head of the bird from the body and to burn the head separate from the body. So that's why you have to sever the second pipe. It's really already dead from the severing of the first pipe. But you have to be able to flick off the head. See, to flick off the head, you're going to have to sever the second pipe. But in regards to Chata Sa'of, where the head is not thrown into the fire, you don't need to flick off the head. So then the Kohen only severs the first pipe. He's not going to sever the first pipe in something else, because once it's dead, what's the point of severing further? There's no point of a Malika once it's already dead. So Gemara says, 1 second, if the Ola Sa'of, the reason why both pipes have to be severed is in order to offer the top, to take the top and put into the fire, if so, or nami. So then why is the halacha that the malika of the Ola Sa'of is to just sever the two pipes? It should also require fully severing all of the skin. So my answer is like this. Kala ma'akiv b'shchita, any item that could ruin the shchita, ma'akiv b'havdalah, something that you need, and if you didn't do it, it could ruin this severing of the head. But kol she'eino ma'akiv b'shchita, but those things that we don't really need for the shchita, in a ma'akiv b'havdalah, it's not going to ruin. Welcome back. It's not going to ruin the mitzvah of severing the head. So therefore, that's the case here. If you're going to take all of the skin away from the bird, you could still do a shchita. And if you cut off all the skin, you could still do the shchita. So therefore, the Ola Sa'of doesn't need to have the skin severed. However, if you were to take out the pipes, then you couldn't do a shchita. So therefore, the pipes are needed for the shchita. So the pipes have to be severed for this mitzvah of Havdalah. Asks the Gemara, V'hamiyut simanim. But 1 second. Let's say you slaughter the two pipes. So you have a minority left. The Rabbanan, according to the Rabbanan, we're going to say, Delo ma'akvi b'shchita, Right? If you slaughter the majority of the pipes, it's a good shchita. And nevertheless, the Rabbanan are going to say, Makri ba'avdala, in regards to Malika, in regards to severing the head, the two pipes need to be completely severed, not just mostly severed. Alemus, you have to explain like this. Kol sheyeshno b'shchita, anything which is included in shchita, that there's a mitzvah to slit it, yeshno ba'avdala is included in the severing of the head, and it has to be severed. Kol she'eno b'shchita, but things that do not need to be shechted, they don't need to be severed during Malika. So in Shchita, you should ideally slit both pipes. Therefore, the Malika has to be on both pipes. But still, there's a problem with Ze'iri. According to Ze'iri, once the spine of a bird breaks with most of the flesh, so it's already a nevela. So if it's already in Avela, what's the gain in then severing the pipes? Rava explained, Ema, we have to say, based on this question, Kenu Osa. This is the way to do the Malika. Chotech Shidra, he cuts through the spine, Umafrekas, and those pieces of cartilage, below Rov Basar, without most of the skin of the nape of the neck. So since he's not cutting most of the, not most of the skin, without most of the flesh of the nape of the neck. So since he's not cutting the rov basar, it's not an avela yet. He just broke through the spine. And then he breaks through the two pipes.
So they don't have to take the head off from the skin is still hanging.
Yeah. When Reb Zera left Bavel and he went to Eretz Yisrael, Ashkel Reb Ami, he found Reb Ami, Yosef Kamal Hashmaita, who was sitting and saying over the slow of Ze'iri. Namely, that Ze'iri said that if the mafrekes is broken with most of the meat, with most of the muscle, it is an avela. So he's saying over the law of Ze'iri, Amar Le, Reb Zera said to Rav Ami, but what are you going to do with Malika then? Is the point of Malika to be cutting what's already dead? So Rav Ami was shocked for a moment. Then he said to him, he said, maybe this is the answer, what Rava just said. The way to do Malika is Chotech Shidra, cut through the spine, but in Umafrekas, with the Mafrekas, below Rov Basar, but not most of the meat, not the majority of the flesh. Tanya Nami Hachi, we also learned in a brayso like this. Ketzad Molkin, Chatas Ha'of. How do we do the Malika on the Chatas of a bird? Chotech Shidra Mafrekas. He cuts through the Shedra and the Mafrekas, but below Rov Basar. But he's careful not to be cutting the majority of the muscle, the majority of the meat. Till he gets to the food pipe, the esophagus, or to the trachea, to the windpipe. Once he gets to the windpipe or to the food pipe, he just cuts one of those pipes in a chatasof, or rubo, or the majority of that pipe. Virov basar imon. At that point, he goes back to cut the majority of the meat in the nape of the neck. Uva olan with an ola. Once he gets to the pipe, he cuts shnayim, both of those pipes, or rov shnayim, or the majority of both pipes. Welcome, Lior. It's so nice. Welcome back. Okay, so again, our learning should be a merit, Lili Nishmas, Me'ira Chai, Nachama Bracha, Bas David Mordechai. So Mani asks the Gemara, who's the source of this brayso? Rabbanan, if it's Rabbanan, Ha'amri, but they say, Shnayim Dafka. You're supposed to, when you do Malika on the Ola Sa'of, you're supposed to fully sever both of the pipes, not the majority of the pipes. Here, Rabbi Shimon, if it's Rabbi Shimon, he says, Rov Shnayim, you're supposed to do just the majority. You don't have to do the whole thing. In fact, he holds you're better off not doing the whole thing, because let the minority of the pipe still be attached, so that the head is still attached. So the Gemara explains, you're right, the Brisa is not taking a position between Rabbanan and Rabbi Elazar and Rabbi Shimon. It's a strange Brisa. The Brisa is saying that in the Ola Sa'of, he cuts through the Shedra and the Mafrekas without getting through the majority of the Basar. And then when he gets to the pipes, Shnaim l'Rabbanan, according to the Rabbanan, he would sever both of those pipes. And Rov Shnaim, according to Rabbi Elazar and Rabbi Shimon, he would sever the majority of both pipes. By the same alternatively, Avaha, what the Brisa says two, where it says the majority of two, it's Rabbi Elazar and Rabbi Shimon. When it said two, doesn't mean he severs both pipes. Shnaim means Shadomim l'Shnaim. He cuts the majority of both pipes in a way that it looks like he cut both pipes, but he actually cuts the majority and he leaves a minority there to help with the throwing of the blood, that the top is still attached to the body of the bird. Okay, so again, we learned the idea of Ze'iri, that the breaking of the mafrekas. How do they translate the mafrekas? Is it the collarbone?
Yeah, the neck bone.
The neck bone. Right, so the law of Ze'iri, that if you break the mafrekas and most of the meat with it, then already it is dead. It's an avail already. So what about in a human being? Amar Yehuda Amar Shmuel. Yehuda said in the name of Shmuel, Nishbra mafrekas. If a human being's neck bone breaks, v'rov basar ima, and most of the muscle, most of the flesh there in the nape of the neck, that person's already dead. And therefore, metami ba'ohel. If he'd be in a room, everything in that room becomes impure based on Tumas Ohel.
This is halacha, Rabbi.
This is the halacha. Right. Apparently, the person's still gyrating. Even though he's gyrating and moving about, he's already dead because the collarbone, the neck bone, and the majority of the meat back there was severed. Is that the halacha? I don't see it quoted as the halacha. That was what he said, though.
Because only the brain dead is dead. Neck is dead, probably paralyzed. Still alive.
It's not quoted as the halacha.
Let's finish a little bit.
Yeah. Im tomar osa maisa de'eli. And if you're going to ask, if you're going to propose a proof from the story of Eli, where Eli HaKohen, when he hears that the Aron HaKodesh was captured by the Plishtim, he falls off of his chair and he breaks his bones and dies. There,
Rabbi, I just checked. That's actually the halacha.
it is the halacha. Oh, thank you.
Probably the one that talks about it anyway.
It is the halacha. Thank you. Im Tomar, and if you're going to try to bring a proof, from Osa Maisa de Eli, from the story of Eli HaKohen, Mafrekas below Rov Basar Havai. I could tell you, and there, right, if you're going to try to bring a proof from Eli, where it was just the Mafrekas which broke, without most of the muscle. So maybe that'll prove that this is wrong. You don't need the majority of the muscle. There, I could tell you was different. There was Zikna Shiny. He was old. Since he was old, even without most of the muscle, he died. The Chsiv, as it says there about Eli, Vayihi Kaz Kiroes Aron Elokim, when they reminded him that the Aron of Hashem had been captured, Yipom Ala Kisei Choranis, and he fell off of the chair backwards, Ba'ad Yad Ashar, next to the gate door, Vatishaver Mafrakto, his Mafrekas died, Vayamas, and he died, Ki Zakein Ha'ish V'chavei, because he was old and he was heavy. So it says there that he died just with the Mafrekas, Ki Nishbara Mafrakto, Vatishbar Mafrakto, it doesn't say V'rov B'saro, but it stresses Ki Zakein Ha'ish V'chavei, the man was old. Amar Shmuel Bar Nachmani, Amar Rabbi Yochanan. Shmuel Bar Nachmani is another lesson named Rabbi Yochanan. Karo Kedak. Let's say a person slashes his friend, and he cuts the front of him open, or he cuts him open like a fish. Netame ba'ol. At that point, he's already dead, and he creates tuma in the room, even though he's still moving about. Amar Shmuel by Rav Yitzchak. So Shmuel, Rav Yitzchak said, this is migabo. If he slices him open from the back, but if he cuts him open from the front, if he's still moving about, he's not yet dead. Amar Shmuel. Shmuel said halacha about an animal. Asa'a gistra. What's the law if he opens up the animal into a gistra? Gistra is like a half utensil, no? Isn't that what a gistra is? A utensil shard. It's like a broken pot. So then nevela. Then the animal becomes a nevela. Amr Rabbi Lezer says, Nital hayoreif, if the thigh of the animal was removed, v'chalal shalah, and now you could see the hole there. Nevela, it's also considered a nevela. Heichidami chalal shalah, what's that case where the hole is now apparent? Amar Rava, kol sheravutza v'nireis chaseira. Any situation where it's a crouch down and it would appear to be missing.
What's the point? The point is that they're teaching us that if something's for sure going to die anyway, it's already acts as dead.
Apparently, it's already considered, a dead nevela.
When you make it a
Yeah,
tree
that's
cut.
what I'm saying. It's what I'm saying.
So a tree is dead?
Dead even though they're alive. I just checked.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Right, it's considered, I guess there's such certainty that the person wasn't going to recover. Already considered like dead. I'm not sure it would still be the case today, but that's the law, right?
Rabbi, talking about life and death situation or tarifa,
Both. We're
both
moving
are-
back and forth. We went from animals to talking about people, and now we're back to animals.
It's just interesting that they even want to do that. Why not just say, okay, when the person died, he's dead?
Yeah, once the breathing stops. That's a good point.
Well, I think the point is with the shchita, if you're going through the pipe and you cut one, he's dead or not dead.
Right.
So now, it's not awesome. We have a mission on all those. Hutzu Roshei, and if the heads of the 8 rodents were flicked off, Afal Pishem Afarkasin, even though these animals are still making movements, the feet are still propelling it forward, they're already considered dead. The head is they're moving. The moving doesn't mean anything because it's like the tail of the lita'ah. What's the lita'ah?
Lizard.
The lizard, right? It's like the tail of a lizard. You can cut off the tail of a lizard and it'll still be moving this way, that way. It doesn't mean it's alive. It's not alive, it's moving. So the same thing, sometimes things are moving, but if the head is chopped off, it's still not alive.
The snake, the same thing, no matter how much you cut, they're still, But they're alive or they're moving? Is that what's the reason?
We're saying that sometimes on the head of these rodents is flicked off, even though these rodents are still moving about. That doesn't mean that they're alive. They're whatever. There's still
But they
blood
could
flow.
bite and they could still, do
Doesn't
that.
matter. They're already dead. My hutsu. What's the definition of the head being detached off of the body? Rishlakish Amar hutsu mamish. Yeah, literally fully detached. The pipes cut off and the head detached. Reb Asi Amar Reb Mani. Reb Asi said Reb Mani. Ki havdalas ola sa'ov. Doesn't have to be fully detached. It's like the separation of the head of the ola sa'ov from the body, where there's still some skin. There's still some, according to an opinion, there's the minority of the pipes, still somewhat attached. Rabbi Yirmiyah said to Rav Asi, this that you just said, Kavdalas Ola Sa'ov, is it Kavdalas Ola Sa'ov l'Rabbanan, who hold that you cut the entirety of the 2 pipes? Huh? Yeah. Tzaki, the earliest time for Talis and Tillman, I think, is around 6:20. So, yeah. Is it like the Abdallas Olaf Ofer the Rabbanan, the low plagitu, and basically you're not really arguing with Rish Lakish. Rish Lakish says Hutsu Mamish, literally the head is detached. Or maybe it's Abdallas Olaf Ofer Rabbi Shimon, who says you just have to cut the majority of the pipes in the Olaf Ofer, and you still have the minority of the pipes there. Or plagitu, and it's a real distinction. Amalei, he said, Kavdolas Olosof, Rabbi Shimon Palkinan. Yeah, I'm saying that hataza of the head of a sheretz, detachment of the head of the sheretz, just doesn't mean a full detachment. Once it's mostly detached, if the pipes are in majority cut, and there's only a minority of the pipes there, still keeping it connected, it's already considered something dead, even though it's still moving about. It's like the moving about of the tail of a lizard. Ikudami, there are others who say, another version of this, Reb Shimon Lakish said, Hutzu Mamish, literally the head of the rodent is detached, the head of the sheretz. Rav Asi Rabani Kavdalas also Flibelas Rabbi Shimon. And Rav Asi said in the name of Rabani, it's just like the Avdallah Sa'of, the detachment of the head of the Ola Sa'of, which is not fully detached, which is Rov Shnai, as long as the majority of two of them, as long as the majority of the two pipes was detached, that's already enough to be considered a head off, and for the animal to be considered dead. And according to this version, there wasn't a question about it, it was just understood from the very beginning. What was exactly the case when, or what did they say, Rabbanan of Rabbi Shimon, in regards to Ola Sa'of? Tanya, it's what we learned in a Bryce. We know that there are certain karbanos that are karban Ola v'yored. Let's say somebody forgot that he was impure, walked into the temple, comes out, and he realizes, oh my gosh, I walked in there when I was impure. So if he's rich, he brings a sheep. If he's poor, he brings two birds, an Ola Sa'of and a Chata Sa'of. The verse says, V'esa Sheni, and the second bird, Yaseh Ola Kamishpat. He has to make it an Ola as is its law. What do you mean, as is its law? Kamishpat Chatas Behema. He has to make an Ola like the law of the Chatas Behema. So just like, so he has to bring an Ola like the law of the Chatas Behema. You're saying that this Ola Sa'of is like the law of Chatas Behema. Maybe it's like the law of Chatas Sa'of. The answer is Kishu Omer, when the verse then goes on to say, Krivo, and he's to bring it. So it sounds like it's different from the Chatas Sa'of. So Chalak HaKasav bin Chatas Sa'of Ola Sa'of. The verse is making the distinction between Chatas Sa'of and Ola Sa'of. And therefore, Mani Mekayim Kamishpat. What am I fulfilling when it says the Ola Sa'of is Kamishpat? It's Kamishpat Chatas Behema. So it's like the law of Chatas Behema. And therefore it means the following. Ma Chatas Behema ina ba elamin achulin. Chatas Behema has to come from money that's not holy. It can't come from Meiser Sheni monies. We've learned before. You can't use Meiser Sheni monies to fulfill your obligations. So you couldn't use Meiser Sheni monies to buy a Chatas. Another law of Chatas Behema, it has to be by Yom. It has to be brought by day, because it says about Yom Kippur, Ki by Yom Azayachapra Aleichem. Kapar has to be done by day. And a Chatas Behema has to be slaughtered by Yadu Yamanis, with the right hand. All of the Avod has to be done with the right hand. So Af Ola Sa'ov, so to the Ola Sa'ov, in a Ba Elam Achulin. It has to come from that which is not Maaser Sheni, from Chulin. Uvayom, it has to be brought by day. Uviyadu Yamanis, and the Malika has to be done with the right hand, with the right thumb. Imalahalan Birov Shnayim. So 1 second, if we're comparing it to Chatas Behema, so just like in a Chatas of an animal, when an animal is slaughtered, you just need to slice the majority of the two pipes, Afkan Birov Shnayim. So maybe in Ola Sa'ov, there would also only be a need for the majority of the two pipes. Tamalama, that's what the verse says. Umalak es rosho. He is to do malika on the head, and offer it onto the fire. So we can ask, if it's put onto the fire, so then how are you going to have an imtza damo kir mizbeach? How are you going to squeeze the blood onto the mizbeach? The whole thing was already in the fire. So what does it mean? The malika itself is like a haktar. The malakes rosho, the doing malik on the head, is the equivalent of a haktara. In what way? Mahaktara, just like the offering into the fire. Harosh ba'atzmo, vaguf ba'atzmo. There is putting into the fire of the head, and a separate putting of into the fire of the body. Af malika, so to malika. Harosh ba'atzmo, there is the head separately, va'guf ba'atzmo, and the body separately. That means that the malika has to go through both pipes fully to fully sever the head. So that's the opinion of the Rabbanan. Rabbi Shmuel says this, that it says about Ola Sa'of, Kamishpat. That's not saying that it's like Chatas Behema. It's Kamishpat Chatas Sa'of. It's saying that the Ola Sa'of is like the law of Chatas Sa'of. Ma Chatas Sa'of, just like Chatas Sa'of, Mimula Oref, the malika is being done in the nape of the neck. Ola Sa'of, Mimula Oref, so to an Ola Sa'of, the malika is being done in the nape of the neck. The E, now if you're going to say, if we're comparing Ola Sa'of to Chatas Sa'of, Malahalan Molek, Ve'ino Mavdil, just like in Chatas Sa'of, he's just severing one pipe, and he doesn't separate the body from the head. The Siman Echad in the other pipe, it's all connected, because it says explicitly there, V'lo Yavdil. Afkan, maybe in Ola Sa'of too, Yehei Molek, maybe you only sever one pipe, and with the other pipe you keep it connected. Tamaloma, that's it says that the Ola Sa'of is v'hikrivo. He'll bring it. It's being brought differently than the Chatas Sa'of. So in the Chatas Sa'of you don't sever, but in the Ola Sa'of you do sever. However, Rabbi Shimon says this, that it says about the Ola Sa'of kamishpat means kamishpat Chatas Sa'of. It means that the Ola Sa'of is like the law of the Chatas Sa'of. Malahalan, just like with the Chatas Sa'of. Oches berosh uvaguf, he holds the bird head plus the bird body. Umazen, while holding the bird head and body, he throws blood. Afkan, so to an Ola Sa'of, oches berosh uvaguf, umazeh, he holds the head and the body, and he throws blood. So, what do you mean? You don't see it with the Chatas Sa'of, you have to hold the head and the body when throwing the blood. This means like this. Malahalan, just like with the Chatas Sa'of. Kishu oches harosh. Kishu achus harosh baguf. Mazeh, when the head is still attached to the body, that's when he throws the blood. Because he only severed one pipe. The other pipe is still attaching the head fully to the body, and that's how he's throwing the blood. Safkan, so too with the Ola Sa'of. When the head is still attached to the body, that's when he's throwing the blood. So therefore it must mean that he doesn't sever the two pipes fully. He only severs the two pipes in their majority. Now, and if you might ask, if Ola Sa'of is compared to Chatas Sa'of, you might ask, Malahalan Siman Echad, Chatas Sa'of only one pipe is severed. Afkan b'siman echad, so in Ola Sa'of only sever one pipe. Talmud Loma, that's what it says, v'hikrivo, and he will offer it, namely that the Ola Sa'of is separately offered. It's different than the Chatas Sa'of. So therefore, the Ola Sa'of needs to have two pipes severed, even though the Chatas Sa'of only has one pipe severed. So what do we have? Now we have the source. The Rabbanan hold that in the Ola Sa'of, both pipes need to be severed fully from the fact that it says umalak v'hiktir. There's a malika and it's like the haktara. Whereas according to Rabbi Shimon, you don't do the malika on the entirety of the two pipes. You only do a malika on the majority of the two pipes, so that the head will still be attached to the body in the moment when you are sprinkling the blood, as it is with the Chatas Sa'of. Okay, Rabbi Chananya ben Akash.